Welcome back, my sweet bestie angels. We are here with another TBR jar. We are heading towards the end of May. We're not quite at the end yet. We still do have a little bit of time, but that means it's time to choose our TBR for June, which is crazy to think about. I am so excited for June. I think it's going to be such a fun month. I have some fun things coming and you guys will get to see those soon, but for now we can choose our TBR. I feel like because June is going to be a pretty busy month for me, I'm not sure how we'll go with following a TBR. I feel like the months where I'm busier are the months that I don't really stick to my TBR very well, but I'm not going to put too much pressure on it because it's supposed to be fun. I will say though, I have been doing pretty well with my May TBR, so I won't feel that bad about it if June isn't a super successful month in terms of completing the TBR. Also, look at my t-shirt. This is from Books with Jess Bookshop. I'll link her store down below. Let me show you properly. It's a bunch of matchsticks, but they're all Throne of Glass related, which is just the coolest thing ever. I also have the matchbook tee for Magnolia Parks, but yeah, it says Terracin, Fireheart, You Do Not Yield. Like, there's so many cute little quotes and things on here, so I'm obsessed. There isn't anything that I'm like dying to read right this second. I think I'd rather pick shorter, more like fun, quick reads just because I am so busy. So I feel like I'm more likely to get to shorter books, rom-coms, stuff like that. Like, I don't think I'll be reading like a really huge fantasy book, but you never know. Let's get started. Prompt number 1. Bookstore staff recommendation. Okay, this is tricky because I'm not at a bookstore. However, I was at a bookstore literally last week and I actually filmed a video of the staff recommendations. So I'm like, let's see if there's anything on here that I have on my TBR cart specifically. There is. I will put in the footage. I was just vlogging, so I was taking videos of it, but I'll show you the video that I'm looking at. There's one that sticks out to me straight away because I have it on my TBR cart and I feel like that's probably the best one to go for. I feel like, oh, okay, wait, there are 2 that I already have on my TBR cart. I love looking at staff recommendations, and what I really love about this bookstore here is they will kind of have a shelf for each staff member. So it might say like, I don't know, Rebecca's recommendations or like Bob's recommendations, and they have a shelf each. And so sometimes when I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, on Rebecca's shelf there are already 3 books that I love, so she might have similar taste to me, so maybe I'll pick up one of the other ones on her shelf, something like that. And so I love it. But the 2 books that I see that I already have on my TBR cart are Our Infinite Fates. This is an art copy, but Our Infinite Fates. And the second one that was in there is, where is it? Here, Beartown by Frederick Bachman. These are both books I'm really excited to read, and just looking at the shelves they're on. So like the shelf that Our Infinite Fates is on, the same person has also recommended Daydream, which I really enjoyed, and also A Study in Drowning, which I haven't read, but I would really like to. But then Beartown is on a shelf with The Poppy War, which I read and loved, Akane, which I read and loved, Sunrise on the Reaping, which I read and loved, and One Dark Window, which I read and loved. So this person has a very similar taste to me. But I think because this month I am so busy, I don't know if I want to start a super emotional series that I want to be super invested into. Like, I want to be able to give this my full attention and my full time, and I don't know if June's going to be that month. Whereas this, I don't think it's a series. I actually don't know that for sure. I could be wrong, but I think this is a YA fantasy, potentially standalone, and it's one that I've been wanting to read for a while. So I think I'm gonna go with Our Infinite Fates. I do really want to read Beartown, but I just don't think right now is the time, you know? And on the front of this one it says, they've loved each other in 1,000 lifetimes, they've killed each other in every one. And I remember bestie Sarah read this recently, and she said that I think their souls attach themselves to different bodies in every lifetime, but they still have to like kill each other in every lifetime. So they come back as different people and in different bodies, but their souls are able to kind of like find each other, which sounds really interesting. Book 1 officially on the TBR. Moving on to prompt number 2. Oh no, I have too many in my hands. Okay. A book that is more than 600 pages. This is not what I wanted this month. This is not what I wanted.
This is not what I want.
Awesome. Cool. Let's see what I have that's more than 600 pages. Like I said, if I don't get to it, I don't get to it. But like, we've got to follow the prompts. I don't make the rules. I already know that The Well of Ascension is probably going to be over, 780 pages. So it's an option. It's not really what I was really hoping for in June. Like I said, quick rom-com, stuff like that. But it's an option. This one is not even 500. I feel like I don't have a lot of super long books on here at the moment. 500, nope, 500. I don't think any of these are going to be over 600 pages. Yeah, 400. What the heck? Okay. I guess we're gonna have to put The Well of Ascension on there. Am I actually gonna get to this? I would like to think I could, but being realistic, I don't know if I'm going to. So if at the end of June, you're watching my reading wrap up and you don't see this, don't say I didn't warn you. But for those of you who don't know, this is the second book in the Mistborn series by Brandon Sanderson. I read the first book last year and I honestly loved it. It was a 5-star read for me. I had so much fun. It had a bit of like a heist situation in it. It was very adventurous. The world building was amazing. I also really enjoyed the characters. We're kind of following an older, more experienced magic wielder teaching a younger, less experienced, or literally no experience magic wielder how to use their powers, and just like training them and teaching them lots of things. It's super cool. It's got politics, it's got adventure, it's got, like I said, good characters, found family. It really has everything. So I really like the first book and I am excited to continue the series, but like I said, I just wasn't really planning on reading a long fantasy book in June. But we'll see. Maybe we'll get to it. I feel like you always get at least one prompt that's like the opposite of what you're hoping for, but that's okay. Prompt number 3. Oh, that is not one prompt. That's like so many. Okay. Oh, I still have more than one. Okay. Oh, you're kidding. What the heck? A book that's more than 400 pages. This actually isn't that bad. We have a lot of books that are more than 400 pages, so I should not be complaining. I just, like I said, I was wanting some quick, fast reads this month. I feel like most of these are over 400. What do I feel like reading? I don't think this will be over 400 pages, but let's check. Oh, it is. Okay, wait, maybe this. This is Weapon by Lynette Noni. I have not peeled the price tag off yet. This is a recent purchase of mine. That could be an option. Is Promise Me Sunshine over 400? 390. Cool. It's fine. I didn't want to read that one anyway. I really did. Out of the Woods. Okay, nah, that's barely over 300. Wandering Wild by Lynette Noni. Oh no, that's 350. Immortal Dark. Okay, Immortal Dark is over 400. I feel like they're the ones that I'm kind of like leaning towards right now. Which one would I rather out of these two? This one is a YA dystopian book and it's the second book in a duology. So if I read this, I will finish the series, which will be really nice. But then this one is a YA fantasy, I think like kind of dark academia vibes, set at a school, I think. It had a lot of hype about it when it came out earlier this year. I think it came out at the start of this year. No, end of last year. Oh my gosh, I'm very late to this. It says September 2024 on this because this was an arc. This is also on my 25 books to read in 2025, and actually this one I don't think is a standalone. This one is a series, is it not? Like a trilogy, I think this would be a quicker, easier read, and I'm excited to finish that series, but I think I'm like more interested in the storyline of this one. I don't know which one to pick. Okay, maybe we'll get Siri to choose for us. I'll get her to pick a random number between 1 and 100, and if she picks an odd number, we will read Weapon, and if she picks an even number, we will read Immortal Dark. Hey Siri, pick a number between 1 and 100.
It's 18.
Okay, that means we're reading Immortal Dark by Tigist Gurma. My apologies if I am pronouncing that incorrectly. But this looks honestly fascinating. I love a dark academia kind of vibe. Also, we're heading into winter here in Australia, so I feel like a dark academia as a cozy winter read is honestly perfect. So I'm excited. A prompt I would love to get is like, pick any romance, or free pick, which means I get to choose whatever I want, or a book under 400 pages. Something like that would be fantastic. We've got a book with a purple cover. Hey, I'm not mad at that because I already know we have some options here. We don't have actually that many options, but this one is the first one that I thought of, Wandering Wild by Lynette Noni. This is an art copy, but the actual book is already out, and I know that they're selling some with like sprayed edges, which look really gorgeous, and I love Lynette Noni. I've read most of her books. I still have to read Weapon, but I've read the Prison Healer trilogy, I've read Whisper, and I've also read like the Akani series, which I really loved. She's an Australian author as well, which is just fun. But anyway, this is one of our options. I don't actually know if we have any more purple. There are some that have purple on them. Oh, would you say this is purple or pink, the background color? Oh, it's definitely a lot more pink compared to this one. This one is also pink, I feel. More pink than purple. Ooh, okay. This one is a really dark purple, or is that like a navy? I think it's purple. I feel like these are the two most purple books that I have. They're very different kinds of purple. I think I'm gonna go with Wandering Wild. I am actually excited to read The Serpent and the Wolf, and this I think is on Kindle Unlimited. unlimited, or at least in Australia at the moment. So that would be really nice because it's nice just to have like Kindle options. But yeah, I think this has got me more intrigued because I'm pretty sure this is her first contemporary romance. And I think it's YA as well. But it says it's a lost in the wilderness adventure brimming with tension. Charlie finds herself pretending to be Xander's biggest fan on a 4-day reality TV adventure led by renowned survivalist Rach Hawk. When their trip goes horribly wrong, Charlie and Xander are left stranded in the wilderness. No Rach, no film crew, no rescue. The only way they'll survive is if they'll trust each other, but in order to do so, both will have to let go of ghosts of their past and just maybe find themselves and one another in the process. That's fun. I feel like it's very different from what I normally read. Like, I don't read a lot of like YA survival romances, but I'm excited. Moving on to prompt number 5. Any romance. Pick a romance. Please, that's what I'm hoping for. Ooh, 5-word title. That's not exactly what I wanted, but let's see what we can come up with. We could do the Library of Borrowed Hearts. That's an option. I feel like 5 words is pretty specific. Like, it's kind of difficult. Picking Daisies on Sundays is 4 words, obviously. There's a lot of 4-word titles happening. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, okay. The Serpent and the Wolf, another option. A Dance of Lies 4. The Story Collector 3. Close Protection 2. The Ministry of Time 4. 3, 2, 3, 3, 1, 4. 4, 1, 4. Cool. Yep. Well, these are our 2 options. And I think I'm gonna go for The Serpent and the Wolf because we almost picked this before and we didn't, so I feel like I should. This one has been on my TBR, I think, longer, so I probably should go for this one. And it is a rom-com, but it's kind of a chunky rom-com. I did actually try and start reading this maybe like 2 months ago, and I made it up to page 40. And I wasn't even disliking it, I just wasn't obsessed. I think it could have been when I was in my slump. I put this on my TBR a couple months ago. Did never finish it. I just don't feel like it's the time right now. So I think I'm gonna go for The Serpent and the Wolf, and this is also pretty short. I've also tried to start this one previously and just it wasn't the right time, but like I said, it's on Kindle Unlimited. I always like having some books to read on Kindle, especially before bed, because holding a book in bed when I'm like half asleep is not the vibe. Holding a Kindle in bed when I'm half asleep is definitely the vibe. So I love having some books on Kindle each month. So we're gonna go with this one. In terms of what it's about, I know it's fantasy. I don't know if it's YA. I don't know if it's adult. It just says fantasy on the back, so I'm assuming that means it's adult fantasy. A fake marriage meets enemies to lovers in Rebecca Robinson's steamy, thrilling romantasy debut. So it's romantasy. But yeah, it looks like our main character has been like married off, I think for a political reason, to a foreign ruler. Yes, okay, for a political reason. So it's like arranged marriage romantasy. That means we only have 1 book left to choose. I literally have not got one quick little rom-com on here. We've got Wandering Wild, but that is like a survival YA romance. Like the rest of them are fantasy books, which is exactly what I said I wasn't gonna do. So that's really great. Anyway, that's okay. The last book that I'm gonna add to my TBR for June is, hopefully I only have one in my hand right now. Yes. A book that has a cover with a different color than the spine. Okay, I feel like this could work well for us. Okay, well maybe not, because, ooh, no, not really, no, no. No, 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 nope, 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 nope. None of these have like contrasting colors, which I feel like does happen. I feel like this is the only one that does. Yeah, this is the only one that, oh no. We also have the Ministry of Time. The rest of them kind of like coordinate. We have Summer Reading, which is like this dark color, and then this light color, and then we have the Ministry of Time, which is pink and then blue, which is really fun. This is a rom-com, but it's just kind of chunky. Liam chose this one for me, actually. This is over 400 pages. For a rom-com, what do you mean? But the font is fascinating in this. Look at the font. Like, it's just such an interesting choice. I love it how I finally get the opportunity to read a romance, and I'm like, I don't really want to read this one. Like, I've just been asking for rom-coms the whole time, and then I get an opportunity, and I'm like, I don't know. I really wanted to read Promise Me Sunshine or Out of the Woods or Same Time Next Summer. Like, those were the ones I was really wanting to get. Or even picking Daisies on Sundays. I'm scared I'm not going to read any of the books on my TBR. No, I will. Let's hope that I will. I'm going to put Summer Reading on there. It's winter. Should I put the Ministry of Time? This is sci-fi. I just feel like because which one am I more likely to pick up? You know what? I think I'm actually going to go Ministry of Time just to ignore everything I've said so far about wanting to read a rom-com, but I'm not in the mood for that rom-com. Sorry. I think I'm going to go Ministry of Time. If you guys have listened to this as an audiobook, let me know if it's a good audiobook because I would be intrigued. This is a sci-fi book. It has won so many awards. It's on my 25 books to read in 2025, so that would be very satisfying. It's not very long actually. It's 340-ish pages, so it's actually shorter than the rom-com that I picked out, but I think it's about a woman who works in the government gathering expats from across history to test whether time travel is feasible. Her role is to work as a bridge, living with, supporting and monitoring expat 1847 Commander Graham Gore, a former Victorian polar explorer. So it's like a time travel situation, and I'm assuming she has to like teach him about our current society and like how to live in our current society, which honestly just sounds very, very interesting. And it looks like it may be a romance too. I'm just very intrigued by this. I know Bestie Haley loved this. It was like a favorite book for her, and that just got me really intrigued. I don't know if I'm gonna love it. It's one of those books where I'm like, I might like it, I might not. I really have no idea, but I'm excited to just give it a shot. Okay, we have our 6 books. I'm gonna rearrange this a little bit and then we can recap the books that we chose. And I also want to talk about some new releases. Okay, so for our June TBR, we have Our Infinite Fates, The Well of Ascension, Immortal Dark, Wandering Wild, The Serpent and the Wolf, and lastly, The Ministry of Time. And as for new releases coming in June, I thought I would mention the ones that I am most excited about and the ones that I'm considering picking up. There's a few books that are releasing at the end of May, which I also wanted to mention because I'm probably not going to get to them until June since they're being released right at the end of May. So the first one is Releasing 10 by Chloe Walsh. Obviously, I'm going to read that. I just don't think I'll get to it by the end of May, so I'll probably read this early June, I'm hoping. I'm so intrigued to see what this one's going to be like. I don't know what to expect because our main character is very interesting and I'm intrigued to see the attempt at a redemption arc. I don't know how I feel about that one. We also have It's a Love Story by Annabelle Monaghan. I think this is also coming out end of May. Again, very excited about this one. Can someone please explain to me why it's not going to come out in Australia until September? Huh? So I'll probably read this on my Kindle because then I can read it immediately, at least according to Amazon, that's what it's telling me. But Annabelle Monaghan is one of my favorite authors, so I'm very excited to have a new book from her. Moving into actual June releases now, we have Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I'm so excited about this one. I just got sent the ARC, which is absolutely crazy. This one comes out 3rd of June, so it's very early June. I'm hoping I'll get to this very soon, hopefully by the end of May. That's why I didn't really like fight to have it on my June TBR because I'm hoping I'll be able to read it before that. But yeah, that is one of my most anticipated releases of the year. I'm so intrigued to read more from TJR, one of my favorite authors of all time. Literally just ecstatic to have a new book from her. And the other one that I'm most excited for in June is Sounds Like Love by Ashley Poston. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. Again, one of my favorite authors. I have loved everything she has released so far, and I've heard good things from people who had arcs of this, and I cannot wait to have my hands on another book by this author. According to Goodreads, it says it comes out the 17th of June. I feel like I always take these dates with a grain of salt because sometimes in Australia we get different dates, sometimes different websites say different things, so I'm not exactly sure if I've got all the dates perfectly correct on these, but either way, this should come out in June and I am really excited about it. And the last one that is really on my radar is Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab. I really enjoy V.E. Schwab's writing, and again, the people who have had arcs for this book have raved about it, so I'm very, very intrigued. I think, is it about vampires? I honestly don't know. I'm gonna pick it up either way. I think this one comes out on the 11th according to Big W, which sometimes is more trustworthy than Goodreads, at least for Australian release dates, but either way, it should come out in June. I feel like every month this year there have been some really great new releases to look forward to, and it's just so fun. I'm still catching up on other new releases from earlier in the year, obviously, so we'll see how many of the new ones that I get to, but that's my TBR for June, and those are the new releases I've got my eye on. Let me know what's on your TBR for June. Is it a new release? Is it something you've already got on your shelf? Is it something that you've just been seeing all over TikTok? Like, let me know. I'm always looking for reading recommendations, you guys know that, but I love you all so much, and I will see you in my next video very soon. Goodbye.